All right, so we're just getting some measurements for the next project. So what we're looking about doing is we're going to, in the center between the windows, we're going to bump this out, make it 3 sides. We're going to shiplap it on all 3 sides, going up the center. It's kind of going to be a little focal point. We're going to put an electric fireplace at the bottom, a mantle, and then we'll hang the TV above it. I started building the frame out for the shiplap area that we're going to be putting in the living room with the fireplace, the mantle, and where the TV is going to be mounted up. As you can tell, I started framing this out. It's just 2x4 framing. I got the size of the openings from the manufacturer's installation drawings that they give you. So I got that. Right now, this is just loose. I'm just getting everything kind of together and getting it all working inside my head. I did go ahead and purchase all the shiplap. Technically speaking, that is tongue and groove. It's called tongue and groove. Nickel gap, tongue and groove. It looks like shiplap. Shiplap is loose at the bottom and can curl up, so I went with the tongue and groove so it'll actually lock into itself, and also so I won't have any nail holes, so I won't have to do anything else. I got a special glue for the mitered corners. We're going to try to do this without any trim, external trim, so everything is going to be finished with no trimming on it. So I got a really special glue. I got it ordered on Amazon. Should be here earlier on the next week. But I got a whole truckload of lumber and a truckload of this tongue and groove shiplap. And yeah, so I'm just kind of putting some framing together right now. Nothing extravagant, just working through my head on it. So yeah, next project's on the move. Stick around. All right, so here's the start of it. This is only 10 feet tall. The wall itself is 16 foot tall. So I've got another piece segment to go on top. I'll have to get scaffolding in the side when I go to build that part so that I can get that and get it right. The ceiling inside this garage is 16 feet, so you can see how much further I have to go. So what we got here is right here, this opening right here, will be the electric fireplace that has the LED lights and the fake flames. It also is a 1500 watt electric heater, so it will also heat. I think it only goes to 86 degrees when it comes out. It's not excruciatingly hot. You can touch it. It's not, a hitter like that. It's just it's more just for the look of the fire. This section right here is where the mantle will be. I am building the mantle out of the alder wood that we've used for the rest of the house, that naughty alder look. But what's going to happen is not only is it going to stick out from the wall, but it's also going to recess. It may go in, actually all the way in, deeper. And the front face of this mantle is going to lift open. So you'll be able to lift it open, either down or up, so that you can get to the DVD player and any other electronics that's in there. I also thought maybe if you have it open and you can have a sound bar inside for when you're watching a movie with the DVD player. And the whole concept of the door for the DVD player is so the remote control will work. So you can have the remote control to operate the equipment. And then above it up here will be the TV. Because it is not a structural wall, it's totally decorative. It's also tongue and groove. That tongue and groove will hold it so it'll make it like it's one piece. So yeah, that's the plan. Here's the start. Yeah.
All right, so here we have just about the entire 16-foot section laying on its face. This obviously is this is the back side right here. That'll be up against the wall. The bottom side is what will be the front. And as you can see down at the far end is where the fireplace and all that's going to be down at the bottom. So I'm just pre-assembling it out here, getting it all sized up, trying to make sure everything's squared up. As you can see here, I'll pull it apart. It is in 2 sections to make it easier for me whenever I go to put it in, considering The second section is over 10 feet in the air. I'll be getting scaffolding for the weekend to put that up so that it's a lot less dangerous. But yeah, she's coming along, and we're going to go clean out inside tonight and get everything out of the living room to make room so I can start putting up the main framing structure. So yeah, we're on the road, baby.
Tony's having to cut the baseboard so we can scoot this frame all the way back. Wow, we're really making some progress. She's looking good. Let's get back a little more. Nice.
Well, alrighty. So what we got going on is I already did some test pieces inside the other day. Oh, it was so cold out here. My hands were so cold. I was testing the fitting, testing my miters, getting it all so I thought it would fit, put it on the inside, and everything's a go. So now, basically, I just have to do a repetition. I'm going to make the same piece, a three-sided tongue and groove board. I'm already going to have them mitered. I'm already going to go fix the corners, and I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to finish paint them because this already has a primer coat on it. We're going to go ahead and finish paint them. So when we go to put them on the boards inside, it is literally, we put them up, we shoot brad nails in them to hold them in, and we're done. So I got my setup outside. It's a sunny day. It's still a little chilly, but we're in the sun, so it's good. I got my raw material sitting here where I will measure my cut length on it here. I'll move it over to my saw, my chop saw here. I haven't put my extensions out, but I'll cut that. I'll cut the miters on there. Got my air compressor set up. Got my spray nozzle on it to blow the dust off. This is MDF wood. I got MDF because everything I was reading online was stating that as long as you're in a non-moist environment, a dry environment, the MDF tends to be more true and will stay true over long distances. I don't have real long distances. This thing's only 58, almost 59 inches wide, so it's not long anyway. But so that's what I did, and I went with MDF rather than the hardwood, and the price is cheaper. On the floor, though, I am elevating the first row on the floor. It is elevated 1.5 inches. Basically, put a 2x4 under each one to elevate it off the floor. The base mold trimming of the house goes to the floor. So we're good. I don't want this MDF to touch the floor because I don't want it to wick up moisture, or if there's a spill, I don't want to mess up this board. So anyhow, so I got my saw station set up. I got my boards here. I've already tested them, the fit and everything, so I'm good to go there. And let's just take a glance inside the workshop here, and I'll show you the other half of it. All right, so over on my new workbench here in my garage, or garage here at the barn, this is where I'm doing the gluing. I'm doing the gluing on it because this table here is good and flat. I know it's flat and it's true, square, and it's a flat surface in order to glue up my miter. I'm using my new glue system. It sort of is a hot glue type of system. As you can tell, the hot glue gun is different looking here. This one's called a Flex 50, but that's the gun itself. It's called Infinity Pure. Pure is a P-U-R. And I purchased the cartridges for the inside of this that are the 30-second cartridges. This is a wood adhesive. It's not a true hot glue. This is I think it's a hot pure polyurethane actually. It's supposed to be a lot stronger than a standard glue gun, in that the wood will break before the glue seam will break. So I'm using that. This is my wood station, and over here I'm stacking the ones that I get cut. They come in here after I brush them off. I'm gonna brush it. Where's my brush? So anyway, I'll brush the MDF sawdust off of it, bring it in here, stack it on this, which then it'll turn around and go to my gluing station where I glue my two sides on. And I'll just show you over there. When I cut the shorter sides, they have one miter side. This table here, this is the table that holds my long ones. That's my gluing table. So I come here, get my pieces for my corner, my sides, grab my long piece, glue it up. After I glue it up, I take it over there, and I'm setting it on the floor and letting them sit overnight to make sure the glue sets up good. It's a 30-second glue. By the time I get going over here and then turn around and get some other ones ready, that one's glued it up, hardened up, especially hard enough that I can pick it up and carry it over to there to sit and cure however long I want it. But yeah, that's the way it goes. I still got some raw material down there that I haven't moved outside yet. I don't want to put too much weight on that old sawhorses outside. But as soon as we get these glued up, I'm going to be doing kind of the same. I'm going to set up another station, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to be going through all the miter joints, and I'm going to be cleaning that miter off good with some sandpaper. If I need to fill it, I mean my miter joints aren't perfect, so I'm going to fill them with a little bit of wood putty, and then we'll sand them off so that they're good and crisp corners, and that'll prep them for paint. Well, I just got done outside chopping up all these boards. This is the tongue and groove, so I've got the short pieces for one side, the short pieces for the other side, and the long pieces for the front. There's more short pieces for this side than that side, because one side has doors that I have to make. So one side of the unit, the right-hand side, is going to have two doors that open up and have niches inside. One's going to hold a record player with some records. The other one is going to be hold DVDs. And I've kind of gotten some scraps that are fairly decently wide that I cut earlier that are just a smidge short. They're about an 1/8 inch. So I thought, well, instead of using all 1/8 MDF, or not 1/2 inch MDF for making the insides of the niche, which I didn't have enough to do both of them, I thought, well, I could just use the tongue and groove on the inside of the niche, probably on the sides and the back, and just use the MDF for the bottom and the shelves and the tops. So go play around with that, look at that, see if that's something I like and the way I want to go. I also need to do a final calculation to make sure I have enough of these pieces, because when it gets down to the last day and the last board, I don't want to come up short. All right, so let's try one of these out. Okay. I use this box because it's square and it's metal to use as my corner. Yeah, it's not the most intricate, but you know what? It works. Okay, let's make it backwards. 3 sides. There we go. That's how it goes. The inside is actually what you're going to see. That's why the rough side is on the outside. So let's get our pure here. It's gooey, so I would assume it is melted and ready to go. It's supposed to be clear and fluid. There's rolling out. Steam rolling off of it. Yeah, she's good and melted. Kind of like a caulk gun though. It keeps flowing after you let off the button. So plan on that. Actually, this one wasn't good. So you only have 30 seconds, so I better get to it there.
other side. I might actually try to clamp these. Now, granted, I only have 30 seconds. You really can't clamp a miter joint too well. I don't have the proper clamp for that, but I can get a little bit of pressure on it. Just enough to keep it honest. Keep it from floating. Giving it attention. One thing the manufacturer says to do on this is, if you're going to leave it for any extended amount of time, screw the cap back on. Even you warm it up with the cap on. So if you're not going to be around it while it's warming up, while it's heating up and going through its cycle, put the cap back on. I'm going to move this one up just to give it a little bit of snugness. But it is sitting on the tongue and groove of the one below it, so that is what's holding it. Now, I can't do any higher on that one because we'll get up into here, but I can go do the other one. All right, so this is the inside of the niche for the record player. This is the record player inside niche. At the bottom will be the record player. We'll put one shelf in here, and then the top section will be where the vinyl record holder will go, and we'll just keep our vinyls up there. We don't have a whole lot anyway, mainly just Christmas songs, a couple Elvis albums, and yeah, looks good, man. I like it. You just got to listen to this. I'm here, I hear something going on outside, so open up the garage door, and this is what we hear. You picking that up? Is that a pipe organ? Now, we do live by the river, so we're assuming that there's a paddle boat going up the Ohio River playing those organ. I don't think it's the organ player. I think they let a kid on it.
Hey everybody, it's December 1st. Woohoo! We're headed into Christmas and we are still working on our, you got it, shiplap fireplace. It's a little cold out here, but not terrible. It's probably 40 something. Hands go kind of numb after you're out here for a little while.
As that sun goes down.
What you working on, Tony?
What I'm doing is I'm putting a straight edge down the side, and then using a flush cutoff bit, and I'm going all the way down so that the sides are straight, completely flat.
Oh,
now,
okay.
This is the side with the door, where the door is going to come in, so this has to be straight and flush so that the door is flush. The other two, the ones that are longer, they go against the wall. Because they're against the wall, we may be putting a piece of trim there to cover that up. Don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and go ahead and cutting them all completely straight flush. They may hit really good against the wall, and if they do, and I'll have to put a trim there. I'll just run a bead of caulk on it and call it a day. So.
Sounds like a plan.
So each one of them is just a little bit different by about 1/16 of an inch. This one's a little bit bigger here, but you know, you can see the difference in the two gaps right there. So when I use my flush cut, it will make them all even. One thing you'll notice is that's an annoyance. This MDF wood creates a powder. It doesn't cut in chips like normal wood will.
this stuff turns back into sawdust and makes a cloudy mess. So don't do this anywhere that you like. That's why we bring everything outside out here on the patio to do all this trimming, because we don't want the dust settling inside the garage.
Cubby holes look nice.
Might give him a second coat here.
The cubby hose, I know they were extra trouble, but they are gonna be so amazing. Stop.
Good?
Yep.
All right, today's the big day. We're gonna start putting the wall up. Everything's painted outside, so I've got this in its spot. Last night I worked on the electrical. I've got an electrical box that's gonna go up to where the TV is. I've got a unit that recesses, and my cable and my internet's in here, so yep, she's gonna go up and go up fast. So,
Yay!
Here we go.
The moment we've been waiting for.
They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that could make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming I'll be famous. I got all this potential that's deep inside of me, but they hate when you're successful cause they try to be. They sit there being judgmental because you're trying things, and they just want you to settle and do the right thing. So get a good job, don't slack off. Wake up every morning, make a good impression on your boss. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do, and when you're making money, make sure you don't spend it too soon. I'll do what I wanna do. I got a different path from everyone, and that includes you. Who are you to tell me how to live life? In these times it feels like nobody's right, yeah. So I'ma figure out what else we succeed, and then invest all of my time into that and proceed. I need whatever the hell could make me happy, and I don't think you have a clue what could that be. They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that can make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming I'll be famous, so I keep chasing. They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that can make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming I'll be famous. Could be special if I get rid of the devils. They think that I am a rebel. I think they want me to settle. There's nobody on my level. They think that work is too stressful. I think that
Okay, once you start your construction process, this is what you got to live with. So we've had to navigate around the scaffolding for just a day or so, so it's not too bad. Hopefully just through today. But yeah, this is in our living room right now. So here we go. We're gonna finish putting the scaffolding up so we can finish the project.
Okay, so in the same one here, they get pins. I moved the pins to those same spots,
Yep, okay.
so those are ready. But
Mm-hmm.
just help me guide this up.
Alright. childhood jungle gym days. Playground. Tony stopped for a little homemade banana nut oatmeal
Fuel.
fuel.
That will sit on our stomachs until about 8 o'clock.
Yeah, well, it's like 1:15 and we're just now eating.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it will be at 8 o'clock.
There's the progress.
Yep, she's ready for start laying slats again.
Okay, Tony is ending near the completion. But as you can see, there's a small gap at the top, so he's got to do some precise measurements to get that last small piece of shiplap. Any words of wisdom, Tony?
No.
Oh, just trying to get it. Okay. All right, we'll let him go. Almost there. Still trying to get that last piece just right. Yay! Yippee! Ta-da! Why? You coming down? Come on. So real. You know, it looks like a real fire.
Alrighty, so this knotty alder, and when we get that stained up, that is going to be the mantle that's above the fireplace, just below the TV. So this is the width, so that is actually going to be the width of it. Some of it will be in, only about one board length will be sticking out. The other board length will be inside the structure that I built, the other frame. Yep, so it's got just a tad warp in it. I think I am going to go out and buy me a surface planer, a thickness planer, and plane these down and get them straight. I've been wanting one for a long time, so I think it's time to just break down and get that. But that's going to be the mantle when we're done. All right, so this is the mantle that goes on the above the fireplace in there. I've got a little open and closed door here. And I want a pass-through hole that we can put a wire pass-through that'll be in it. So if we set something on there that's lights or electrical candles or something like that, we can run the wire down and plug it in underneath. Underneath here's where it's going to, the DVD player and all that's going to be. So yeah, I've located where I'm drilling the hole, and we're going to drill. She probably got hot and swole up. That's why I can't finish that hole. But yeah, we're going to drill that hole in there, and so we'll have a pass through.
Tony's got to adjust the mantle hole. It's just a little tight on the right hand side. So he's making a dust tent so dust doesn't fly everywhere. Mr. Zero's coming down. He's in the Christmas spirit. Yeah. Hey, Zero. He's about ready to run away whenever, there he goes. Whenever you start.
As soon as that shot back comes on, he'll be gone. Get in there.
Yeah. Oh, looks so good. Cubby hose over here. Waiting for the doors. Put the fireplace back in.